What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about our newest project for SEMA. Again, SEMA's only a couple months away, and this is probably going to be one of the most crazy R34 builds you've ever seen. Let's get into today's video.
Casters aren't integrated. Yeah, push here. I got it. You're okay. You're okay. It's gonna hit.
Calm bronze?
Yeah, some of it is. You're off.
Guys, so here we are, middle of August.
No. It's not quite the middle.
It is. Tomorrow's the middle of August.
That's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Oh, a day.
Of
Yeah. Day before the middle of August. But
no pressure.
we are here with Mickey. I would call him the R34 Skyline. Thanks, motorcycle. R34 Skyline Guru. All right.
I don't know about that.
And he brought us Throttle's next biggest project, probably to date.
This is Throttle's largest project to date. I mean, we've done the Supra, we've done the Eclipse, we've done some pretty heavy projects, but this one, it's got a lot riding on it.
This is probably a lot of our first two on the R34s. This last couple months, we've been getting really deep into the R34s. I'm sure you know.
Very popular.
Yeah.
Because they're legal now.
Yeah, definitely. But here we have R34 chassis. I'm not exactly sure what it is, because
this started life as a GT.
As a GT.
So this was a rear-wheel drive RB25 non-turbo car. So basically a Maxima.
Okay. Yeah, I know all about that.
Oh yeah, sorry, I meant no disrespect.
No, that's exactly what I call it. This is a Nissan Maxima right now.
So, and the reason we started with this was because if you want to start with an all-wheel drive GTR, you better have 120 to 150 grand ready to go. And when you're gonna go to this level of build, like we're doing, it doesn't really make sense to buy a GTR and cut it up and do what we're doing to it. So we started with a GT, and I've already done the conversion to make it all-wheel drive. So I've already got a brand new front and rear subframes. They've already been fitted to the car. It takes a lot of fab work. As you can see, I had to tunnel the frame rails to get the axles through there, made provisions and cleaned up these rails already, because the GTR frame rails are absolutely completely different than what we have here. They have all these provisions in them already. They're different heights, the whole nine. So I'm intimately now aware of the differences between GT and GTR rails, but this will now work. GTR subframe bolts in, and we're all-wheel drive now. So that's awesome.
All right, so it looks like since you guys got this car, you've now made it all-wheel drive, and you've done some lightweight reduction. Because there's no interior in here. Mickey, what's going on here? This is...
Yeah, so we started, spitballing the idea of what we're going to build here, and we decided we wanted to shoot for the stars. We want to build an Australian spec, or Aussie spec as they call it, drag car. So for America. And there aren't very many here. My R32 is probably about the closest thing to an Aussie spec build here in the States. My R32 GTR is arguably the closest thing to an Aussie spec built car here in the States, and this is gonna really top that, I think. We're shooting for 1,500 horsepower to the wheels to start. That's the benchmark, and this car is going to take on the best America has to offer when it comes to these cars. So we have SEMA, that's where it's going to debut, and then it's off to GTR Festival USA in Texas 2 or 3 weeks after SEMA. So a couple big debuts just right around the corner. I left you guys plenty of time to get this thing done.
90 days.
I even stripped it for you, look.
90 days.
Roll cage kit.
Hold on,
cage kit's already in.
So before you go there and start yelling 90 days, a paint job is not gonna make this car run. So we actually have to give it back to them a lot sooner than that, because obviously, if I don't know if you guys really.
Paint job doesn't make it work.
No, it doesn't. It makes it look pretty.
Yeah. 1500 horsepower paint job.
Oh yeah. So if you could see, the boys over there at Throttle and Mickey have gone like absolutely haywire on this thing. There's nothing to this car. It's literally a show. It's funny how car guys are like so quick to just get a car and then just dismantle it to nothing.
Yeah.
And add a whole bunch of cool little things, and then it's like, all right, now let's rebuild it back up. I guess we got real first world problems over here.
Yeah, well, we're starting from scratch. I mean, as you can see, we cut out the floor pan. This is where the spare tire used to be, but now it's going to be a 6-gallon radium fuel cell.
Yeah, nice.
That sits flush in there. It's already fitted. It works. We know it's all good to go. It's already pre-wired and plumbed. Built a firewall or bulkhead because in order to pass sanctioning body rules, you have to have something that separates the fuel from the driver's compartment. We want to go fast in this thing. We want to be able to turn up at drag racing and have fun and be safe. So we've got a halon system going in this thing, a whole 9 from Sparco. So it's going to be a purpose-built drag car. This car's never going to see the street. It's not going to be, ever have license plates on it. It's literally built to go fast and have fun in. Yeah.
Nice. And look cool.
Yeah, and look cool. So I don't know if you guys noticed, but it does have a cage kit, R34 roll cage built in. This is an FD spec, Formula Drift spec kit, cage kit with it's called their interior door bar set. And as you can see, as long as you take your time, it fits with the interior door panels, which is pretty cool. It fits really clean in there.
Pretty cool.
And so the element that I like to incorporate a lot of my builds is when you see it from 5 feet away, you see all the stock interior rolls in through the windows and stuff. Yeah. It looks like a street car until you get up close, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, we got a parachute mount up here, like, full gusseted cage, ready to go, dimple die plates up front, and the thing fit amazing. It's fully TIG welded. Jesse Ortiz did a beautiful job on it, and now we just need the SOS touch.
Nice.
34 Skyline has arrived here at SOS Customz. The boys here are going to do the rear quarter panels, they're going to bodywork the car, they're going to paint it, and then it's off to SEMA, where we're going to show the world what we've come up with. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. We're going to be jumping into this GTR, taking wrap off. One thing we're going to be starting is we're getting all the fenders removed and the hood, so we have the engine bay fully exposed, because we're going to be filling a lot of holes. Not those type of holes, some firewall holes. So we're going to go get that set up, show you guys what we got.
Let me give you guys an overview of what's going on with the R34 Skyline. So far, front end is off. It's time to go ahead and start plugging up the holes. So I have my boy Ivan doing what he's doing best, is filling holes. I got my boy G right now taking off all this wrap, which they did a pretty thorough job. I'm not gonna lie. When I wrapped my Skyline, it was not really this thorough, but because it was very, very temporary, like maybe 4 or 5 months at the most, so it was only for that. But this guy like did jams. That's pretty crazy. But after this wrap is all pulled off, the next thing will be prepping out this interior. We're gonna prep this interior out for primer, so the goal is to get it all prepped out. Meanwhile, I have Luis back here prepping out the trunk, that Throttle fabbed up in here. So we're gonna go ahead and get ready to go ahead and primer this whole back section. Now we're not doing nothing with the inside of the quarters because these are actually going to get replaced. We're going to be cutting off these quarters here next week, but today the goal is to fill the holes, prep out the inside, remove all the wrap, and get this inside prepped as well, and maybe we could primer this tomorrow. I brought you here for one thing and one thing only, to fill all these holes.
Can you do it? Are you up for the task?
Yeah. And I've known Ivan for a long time, and I know that he's very particularly good
at covering holes. Yeah. Filling holes up.
He's gonna fill out all these holes.
Quite a bit of hose. Can you do it?
Nothing too new. You know, little challenge. Wouldn't mind. Do we have a timeline?
Yeah, today.
Yeah,
okay. Let's go.
Alright guys, so we got the trunk all sanded down. We took care of some of the finishing welds that the guys did over there at Throttle, but we want to go ahead and get this thing primered because it's bare metal. We don't want it to rust. We're going to take off the tail lamps, take these off. We're going to get an overspray, and then from there we'll be ready to get this thing into primer. So let's go. Alright, so we got a couple of pieces that we're fitting onto the larger holes on the firewall because so we don't have to weld in like a big area. We're gonna make them fit right down perfect, and we'll do some tack welds on it and fill it in, and that's the best way to make it look flush. So let me show you what Ivan did here.
So basically what we did was cut out a piece of metal, you know, little 3D print it, and then just to get it filled just right, you know, tack it. Get a nice little flush flat wall. Should work out.
All right, so the rest of the crew is getting this thing, taking it to Pound Town, getting everything sanded on the inside, trunk, everything that we're gonna be primering. We're gonna primer the whole floor, the roll cage, the trunk, and while Ivan finishes up the front, we can just at least primer the rest of it and just keep the ball rolling. So prime time. All right, so we got everything ready for primer. We got everything matched up, and the cars around us, so we don't get any overspray. We're really good about that. So Abraham's gonna start priming this thing, let it dry over the weekend, and we can continue hitting this GTR. So let's shoot some primer.
Mickey over here doing arts and crafts.
What I do best, baby.
So, explain to us why every single hole has to be covered up from the trunk to the interior cabin.
Yeah, so because we're planning to race this thing in drag racing and sanctioned drag racing, they want to make sure that obviously you're safe. So our fuel cell goes in this square hole here. And what you want to do is seal the fueling area since you're moving it inside the car versus outside the car, which is what it is OEM. If there's an incident or fumes or anything, you don't want the driver to be intoxicated with fumes, or even if there's a rollover or something, the fuel gets into the inside. So these holes go straight into the inside. The rear window sits here. So all the fumes and any fuel could go right inside the car if there's an incident. So what we're doing is building basically a block off plate that your guys will tack into place, like we have in some of the other areas, to basically seal that off and make sure that we can pass tech. Sorry for the long explanation.
No, I get it. Makes sense. Okay, Ivan.
So
another day of
paradise.
And then paradise, another day covering up all the holes. This is your favorite thing to do, huh?
Yep. Templates came out pretty good, you know. About to clean it up, see how, you know, the little spots I missed, but so far everything has been looking pretty good.
Yeah, it looks like almost every hole that needs to be covered up is covered up.
Yep.
A couple of the bigger ones, we had to make little plates for them. And I think we're gonna have Kevin over here maybe cut up this whole front battery tray and on that side and this whole section to make it a little bit smoother. That way, like, you know, even though this is a race car, and that's one thing that Mickey told me, like, hey, Oscar, this is a race car vibes, but we can't just leave it like, it has to be still a little bit of like the SOS spec too. We cannot leave it just like super race car, but we will. But it'll be like a little SOS touch on it.
Alright guys, as you can see, what we started, we already took off the door panels. Mickey and the Throttle Boys have been helping out. Well, mostly Mickey doing the work, and we have a good old Chilango, Kevin. We got the quarter panels off. As you can see, they're been prepped. We went ahead and did like a little plate here for reinforcement. So when the new quarter panel is gonna set into here, we can weld it and it's all reinforced. This kind of copperish paint that you see, it's a weld through primer. So once we weld, it's gonna penetrate and it's gonna protect against anything corrosive. Being that this is a Japanese car, they have quite a bit of rust, but overall this car is pretty clean. So I have to kind of clean up this stuff. There's your old quarter panels there. Mickey has been getting everything ready. We have the 2 quarter panels ready here, as you can see. We had to do the cut right over here where it's going to be sectioned to the roof, and the guys are thinking we're ready to get this thing mocked up. ¿Ya está lista?
We're almost getting there. You ready? Get in there. Kevin, what's left to mock it up? Just get the backing plates getting ready, and then from there we'll be able to mock it up.
I believe we're going to end up cutting the inner structure first, transfer it over, and then
from there we'll
gonna go from there and
fill the gap. Fill the gap later.
make a short team a regular team.
Mickey, you gonna be welding or what?
Sure, I'm down.
Yeah? Silicon bronze it?
Whatever it takes to get this thing done in time. That's what it is. Yeah. If I gotta be here every day and I gotta weld every day, I'll do it.
Yeah, boy.
We interrupt this video to talk about the R34 Skyline and the new quarter panels.
Nah, man, go all the way to here.
where is it at?
That meets right here.
To right there? Back wall. Not this one. They did come like this.
Pay an extra $100 grand, that's what you get. I might come with a lawyer too.
It should come with a motor.
Yeah.
Huh?
40 grand versus 150 grand. It's a big difference. So,
Slightly bigger.
and that explains why we're doing this, right? To a lot of people, like you literally save 100 grand right off the top if you just do this extra work.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, the car's like blown apart.
That's the reality in Skyline GTR land these days, R34 land. Yeah, I mean you can get a GT for 40. I think we paid 36 for this one, or you can go get a GTR for the cheap price of about 120 to 150, depending on conditions. So
Yeah.
it's a big difference.
Big difference.
And since we're building a custom car anyway, it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's a little bit more work here at the body shop.
Yeah, this will be better. I think this will,
So
get it reinforced, and real nice and pretty.
yeah. See Kevin cut off the fender already.
I did.
So and we laid it into the new fender over here just to get an idea of how it's going to look. So this actually lays right in, works right around the body. So we'll use the holes that we drilled out as our spot weld holes. We'll put this back in, and then we'll create a 1 inch or whatever 12 mil flange that's going to go
Nice, see?
Connected body, yeah. Good stuff.
Nissan specialist.
I don't know about that. Call him Nismo Mick.
Nismo Mick.
Nismo Mick.
Mick, there you go, baby.
Please don't.
Certified. That's gonna be the new nickname.
It's not Mickey Spec anymore. It's Nismo Mick.
Let's not do that.
Okay, here we are, another day of DP.
Daily production.
Daily production, double production, double perseverance.
Chest bump.
Chest bump, let's go. You guys just become best friends. Alright, so it feels like we took 2 steps back because when the car came in, it was a complete car, and it looked blue, and now it looks
Like
gray.
we're trying to get rid of it.
Yeah. Oh, what? Like a chop shop?
Yeah, almost.
Nah, we couldn't do that. But it looks like I was gone yesterday. I had a little escapade. I was out in the streets.
Networking.
The streets, yeah, I was networking. The streets were calling my name. But I'm back, baby. Sold the E30 yesterday, so it was good vibes. But now we're back on the train to get this thing done for SEMA. So the last couple of days, the boys have been very busy cutting out the old quarter panels, getting everything ready and prepped for the new quarter panels. So what does that entail? So they go ahead and cleaned up the whole inner structure, applied some e-coats, and we got some copper weld-through primer everywhere that we're gonna be welding.
We're in the middle of transferring the understructure over to the panels, as you can see right there.
Okay, and it looks like I think Mickey was working on this, right? Yeah. He started. What they did is they cut the inner structure, welded it to the new GTR quarter panel, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna make an extension from the old inner structure, and then make just like this. You know, everybody could add just a little bit. Okay, so the R34 Skyline is ready for its first coat of primer. Now it's not like it's far from finished, right? It's far from finished, but we got the guys over here giving that last minute prep. Jose looks like he's been just, you know, braiding his hair all day, you know. But did a little bit of body work on all the edges, all the joints, finished up the rear body panel and all the nicks and crevices. Jose.
Yes, sir.
Are you ready to do this to mine?
Tomorrow?
To my Skyline.
Oh, no. Not yet.
Not
Isn't
yet?
yours ready?
No, it's not. It needs a lot of love. But I want to do the same thing to mine
What'd
too.
you do? Just go, you're gonna make it electric?
No. Why would I do that?
You was going electric.
It's not going
Yeah, so we're gonna have no gas in it.
Because there's no motor in it? No, that's not.
You guys even took out the pedals.
Everything.
All AI.
No, definitely not. No, this thing's getting a crazy RB. But anyways, regardless, this thing's almost ready, as you guys can see. We have also shaved the fuel door and welded these quarter panels. Right now we're just cleaning up all the jams, hitting all the aprons, and we're gonna pretty much shoot the quarters, the roof, the doors, and the fenders in primer this time around. And next week we're gonna finish up the engine bay, the interior, and the trunk. We're about to do the interior, which we've already shot a little bit of primer in, and the undercarriage as well. So there's still a lot to go, but we're making great time with this thing. I'm hoping next week we get the undercarriage shot and possibly even the engine bay and the interior.
All right, guys, so the time has come. We're gonna get this thing ready for primer. We're gonna put epoxy primer, one of the best primers out there. That'll help build up any stuff on the bodywork that we did so we could block it and it'll come out really nice. So let's get this thing mixed up, and Abraham's gonna lay this primer down real good. Ooh, shit. ¿Dónde está? Mira el candy. Pura miel ahí. Alright guys, so time has come. The guys have been working really hard on this thing, making sure everything's, you know, well bodywork. Obviously, as you guys, let me give you a recap. We got new GTR quarter panels. We welded a bunch of holes that inside for like the floor pans, all that. We did engine bay, fenders, doors, bodywork on everything, the trunk. So this thing is really nice. So really excited for this thing. We're gonna lay the primer down and we'll let it rest for the weekend, get back on it, block this thing out and get it ready for paint. I'm really excited. So let's shoot this primer.
Alright guys, and just like that, the Skyline has been primered. We shot about 3 wet coats of Vibrance epoxy primer, and as you guys can see, we definitely have this thing looking real nice and clean. This is where the gas cap once was. So today what we want to do is focus on the engine bay, get this thing all primered up. Now initially we've done, get some tape off, we've done some welding on here. We covered up everything that we didn't really need, and now we got to sand everything down and get this thing all in primer, and then move on to the interior and then move on into the trunk. And we also have to do an undercarriage on this thing. This is a very big project, but the boys have been killing it every step of the way. So quarter panels are swapped, everything, all the body work is good to go. We still have to work on the trunk, the hood, and the front bumper, but other than that, this thing is moving right along. Just finished welding the inner structure from the inner panel of the quarter to the actual new GTR quarter. Now it's time to get this thing undercoated, but we've had some issues. So we could have took a little bit of time and done some welding and stuff like that, but we're really on a tough time schedule. So right now we're gonna get rid of this whole thing right now. We are getting this structure on some go jacks to get it to our outdoor lift. Once it's on the outdoor lift, we're gonna go ahead and start prepping out the undercarriage and get this thing undercoated so it can go right back into the blocking and get this thing ready for paint.
Alright, so last time you guys saw this thing, we took everything apart underneath, got it all prepped out. There's a lot of work that the guys put in underneath. We wanted to make it look as clean and nice as possible. As you know, Kevin did like a little mini tub action going right here because these quarter panels are real Skyline GTR quarter panels, which are a lot wider, so we always have to add an extension piece in here, and everything is all sanded and prepped out, ready for some undercoating. You can see some have factory undercoating on some spots, but I mean, from factory they really didn't care, so some spots don't have it. But we're gonna take it the extra step and the extra mile to make sure everything's undercoated so it looks really good. So G's all suited up, suited and booted, ready to shoot this thing.
Suited and booted!
Yeah. And Jose is here doing the last and final block on this thing and making sure this thing is ready. The goal is to finish blocking this thing out, take everything apart, and get the interior and the engine bay painted this week. Meanwhile, the boys are over here doing the last minute blocking on this thing. We also filled the third brake light and the keyhole with fiberglass. At the same time, we have the new aftermarket side skirts that we had to do a little bit of fiberglass work as well. And as you guys can see, this is in the drying period. It'll dry overnight. We'll kind of trim all this in the morning, get it to fit, you know, shimmy it all up, and then once we get that perfect fitment, we'll put a little bit of Marglass and Bondo, and boom, these are ready for primer. Meanwhile, we have a Kevin spec, Kevin powered Russo ball bearing 20. How old are you?
You know what the
How old are you?
You know what the R stands for in GTR, right?
Russo.
GTR. Russo.
Yeah, no, you're a Russo built. What is this? How old are you?
30 years young.
Fuck, dude. Damn, dude. Unreal. I'm older though. I'm 34 now. 34. But I look like 75. I'm just kidding. But Kevin.
Yes.
I know you're making holes in this brand new Cybon hood, and I see you're drilling.
I've done more than make holes.
Yeah. So he's installing the arrow catches so we can get a true fitment on this hood. These are all aftermarket parts. So we have Cybon fenders, Cybon hood, C-West bumper, and we don't have the GTR panel up here that where this mounts to. So we're gonna kindly borrow it from one of our donor parts. Once we get this thing fit on here, we'll be able to do all the body work. Now this is like a 25-year-old bumper that's fiberglass, so it's gonna need a little bit of work, but Kevin's on the job. His job is to finish up the hood, the fenders, and bumper. We have Jose and Luis doing the final body work and block on the car, and then we have Ivan working on trunk, rear bumper, and side skirt. So it's very much a team effort. From there, this week our plan is to paint the trunk, the interior, and the engine bay as well. And this all has to be done this week because next week this car absolutely has to be painted, sent back the throttle, everything needs to be fully assembled. Then from there we start the polish and get the interior done on this thing.
Guys, so we got the GTR in the booth. The guys are doing the final little wipe down and taping of the interior parts. This thing, it's a whole lot of car and we can't paint everything all at once. So we're gonna get the interior shop first and get that all painted. Everything, the floor, all the way to the back, the trunk and jams. Then at that point, even the door jams, so that basically once we do the doors themselves, we can hang the doors, get everything on there, and then do engine bay and the rest of the body. It's a lot. So we're gonna get this thing prepped up and get some paint on it. So super excited. Let's go.
Your car's next, full interior.
Well, I mean, this is, we should. I mean, at this point, this is, you know, I think this is we should strip it all the way down to this, paint everything like that. I mean, so easy.
I think it's just times like this we thank the Lord for upholstery.
Yeah. So you can cover everything.
Yeah.
But dude, this is crazy.
I mean, it's gonna look cool, right?
Yeah.
But can you imagine? I mean, obviously this is a drag car, but if you did this to a street car, imagine driving that thing. It's like a rolling tin can at that point. Yeah. But obviously this is not a daily driver. This is a full-on race car.
Race car.
So I think it's
how much horsepower are they gonna push on this thing?
I don't know.
1,500, 2,000.
I hope our lightweight carbon fiber paint holds up.
Yeah. it'll hold 20-mile-an-hour paint, baby.
Yeah, it's high performance paint. It's gonna go 250 mile rated for sure. So, anyways, boys in here finishing up. So I'll Too Fast, Too Furious paint job
This is
coming right up.
This is like the epitome right here of Fast and Furious, and to be able to lay the paint on this thing is gonna be pretty good. So
Yeah, but it all starts with this interior. So let's hit it.
here we are, guys. We're gonna be shooting the car. We're gonna be doing the sealer, getting everything shot. But it's such a good feeling to see the car finally in the booth, ready to get shot. Richard's gonna be laying down the sealer, your coats of base coat, and you have the, once everything's silver, we wanna hang all the panels on the car itself so we can tape up all the stencils. The guys are waiting outside. We got Vicky, the guys out there. So let's give you a little quick walk around. We got Mickey right here waiting. He can't wait. He's waiting so patiently.
Sorry, I was
stencils.
just busy over here studying skylines on my phone.
Are you?
Yeah.
Were you gonna lay the stencil perfectly, or what? You have your measurements and everything ready to go?
Yeah.
It's all in your head?
Look, this project is our version of the movie car, so it doesn't need to be an exact replica of the movie car. It just needs to resemble the movie car. So, I already talked to Richard. We're gonna put our own spin on this thing.
Oh, nice.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa,
see?
whoa.
Put in the
I didn't know
audible.
about this.
Yeah.
What is this?
You're gonna put in the audio.
I didn't know that I need to get permission from Sean to make it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the painter,
Look
bro.
at him. He's
Come
all
on.
suited
Yeah.
and booted, man.
This is the new,
Hit it up right
this is
now.
the new boss of Throttle.
There it is, baby. Look at him. He looks like a boss, too.
Everything runs through me.
Through me. There you go, baby.
Okay, Skyline's finally in the booth. We got some sealer and base coat. Huge shout out to the Spray Source for hooking us up, because this thing looks absolutely mental right now in only base coat. Mickey, what do you think?
Man, the Spray Source knocked it out of the park with this color. This is like a custom color to their line of paints. We picked it because it was beautiful, but man, even just the base coat that's down right now is insanity. Probably can't tell on camera just yet, but I think once the clear goes down on this, it's gonna be pretty nuts. And then with the blue popping on top, ooh, it's gonna be spicy.
What are you guys gonna put on? You guys know what you're putting up?
Come on, we're gonna fucking beat you to it.
Put the back bumper on.
Ustedes, que vamos aquí siguiendo. I need it to shift to probably left. Yeah, come forward a little. Forward. Left, right.
It's a long night, boys.
We're fucking cooked. We're not even to the
What do you mean? It's not
long
even.
part.
It's not even like past midnight yet.
Not yet.
We just started.
Oh, but we'll get there for
This
sure.
dude's weak.
We'll get there. for
He's
sure.
cooked.
Buddy's gonna be asleep in the back of his car in like 10 minutes.
Him?
No.
Dude,
I'll be
you know,
good.
I've done more SEMA builds than you've been alive for years, dude. I ain't gonna be asleep, bro.
I'm still gonna go out and party tomorrow.
I'm gonna go out and party tonight when this is done.
You're gonna be here tomorrow.
I'm not even gonna sleep. I'm going straight to work.
I got a hot day tomorrow. It's really late, but Richard has never wavered. This is not Richard's first rodeo, right, Richard?
No.
We are into the wee hours of the night, but I think we got it ready for a couple more coats of base, bake, and some decals. That's what's next. Tired?
No.
You tired? I'm tired.
See my time though. This is shit that we gotta do. It's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
And sadly that we could be out on Friday night. Yeah.
Hey, we're gonna party in Vegas.
I'm putting out work in with the Skyline. That's great to say.
You were dozing a little bit. You're nodding. You're nodding a little bit.
Nah, not really.
Nah.
How old it is? It's pretty cool.
You're forgetting that I was in Australia just.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
18-hour difference.
Yeah.
You were in Perth, right?
You were.
The fact that I'm even awake right now is pretty impressive.
So let me ask you this: still going to Long Beach tomorrow?
No. I mean, I would, but
no.
I found out the person I was going to see is not even going to be there. So.
Are you guys tired?
No, I want Jack
No?
crack.
Jack crack, tired? You good?
I'll always be fun.
Hey,
Not at all. I was thinking about going to get a shot at OMTI right now.
Where's that?
Go down the street. By Z Market. And just like that, an all-nighter went into the next day. So it's an all-weekender, looks like. But we got Richard back on the team, back on the scene here, getting these lines. And this is a pain in the butt. Reason being is because you have this vent system, a lifted hood, goes down again, and then we go into this raised bumper. Now this is gonna sit a little bit higher, but since we took everything off to get good paint around here, there's a lot of little things that kind of take into place when you're doing this type of work. And so it's taking a little bit of time, but we're getting it down. Today our goal is to shoot the stripes on the hood and the bumper, and also shoot the stuff on the side as well. This is the first color on right now. We still have to shoot our second color and then our lightest color. But as you can see in the area where we have our darkest color, it is like a mixture of, I would say, a bayside blue and an oriental blue. It's a color from the spray source called Oceanic Blue, and it looks really good. We have not covered it 100% yet. We are still in our first mist coats on there to make sure that everything is good to go. And so far everything looks pretty good. So we're ready to put another 2 coats down on this. This will be covered, and the rest of it will start laying down from there.
All right, guys. So as you know, we've been working on Throttle's car. This is the most tedious task right now that we're doing, is laying down the graphics and starting the fade process of the paint here. We have everything messed up for the front end, also the stripe that goes through here, and everything's pretty much set in place. Kind of started out, we're doing in like light coats of getting everything done. We'll do the final coat on this thing and clear it, and man, I can't wait, man. Everybody at the shop has been killing and working late nights for this to get this thing done, so big shout out to the crew. but a couple more coats, we'll see this thing in clear. And man, it's gonna look really, it's gonna kill it over there at SEMA. You know, there's gonna be I feel like there's gonna be a lot of Skylines out there, but this one's gonna be front and center, and I can't wait. So let's get this thing cleared. All right, so the time has come, and we're shooting the fade on this GTR, and it's looking crazy. Let me show you guys. Got a little inspiration right here.
Alright, I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. This paint job has been the biggest pain in my butt of everything. If I look like not the same person right now, it's because everyone here has been putting in crazy amount of hours. I went home yesterday at 2 in the morning, but Richard, right now, this is a message to you. This is not to everybody. Dude, everything that you've done this SEMA is like, you don't understand how much I appreciate you, man. Everything that you've done for us here. I don't remember how long you've been working here, man, but we really appreciate it, man, and it doesn't go unnoticed. I wish I could have half your work ethic at your age, because it's crazy, man. But yeah, enough rambling on. Richard, the GOAT. Here it is. Throttles Fast and the Furious recreation. Alright, so the first step's done. Car is cleared. That doesn't mean that the car's done. We need to wet sand everything, we need to stripe everything, and then we need to re-clear everything. We don't have a lot of time. Throttle needs the car back. We have another 4 cars that need to get ready for SEMA. Asking myself why I did this to myself and the staff here, but we do it, and we have to keep pushing along. I feel like I'm dead when I'm talking right now. I need to like liven. I need like a Red Bull or something. Yerba mate for sure. We're baking it right now. I'm hoping in about 2 hours we can pull this thing out, send it on over to the throttle. We'll probably go over there, pick up the parts, wet sand everything, put a little striping on it, clear it again, and give it a final finish so you don't really feel those lines. Again, this is it's gonna be a race car. Doesn't really need to be perfect, but I just don't feel comfortable when something's not perfect, you know, at least very close to it. And I'm not saying we're perfect by any means, but we definitely do strive for perfection every time. Like that, you know, it could have a little imperfection that maybe we know about but nobody sees, but I'm tired, boss. Let's get this thing out of here. All right, Sean's here.
I'm here.
Sean's,
I never left.
He's actually been here
for weeks.
Yeah.
A month.
Yeah.
Last month I've just slept in the booth with the car, watched it, made sure it's done.
It's ready.
It's ready.
It's ready to go back home.
Pull it out.
Let's go.
Looks good outside.
No congratulations yet. We ain't done.
There's eating left.
¿Qué es este teléfono?